Testing, 1, 2, 3.
Your host, Lorenzo Primerano.
Philadelphia Sports News. Live and live cameras.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Lorenzo Primerano Show, episode 41, and probably one of the episodes we tend to try and not remember. But today is February 14th. It's 2 days after the Eagles lost Super Bowl 57, and there's a lot to talk about. And I wish it could have been different. I wish it could have been, an Eagles win. But it's heartbreaking. It really is. And everything about this season was phenomenal. I mean, you got to give the Eagles credit. No one thought we were going to go 14-3 and make it all the way to the Super Bowl, but there we did. I feel like we exceeded expectations for this year, but we didn't finish the job. We didn't finish what we needed to get done, and that's what we're going to review today. So, first off, everyone's probably aware of 0-3 in championships in the city of brotherly love. Of course, the Union lost and the Phillies lost in the same day, and now the Eagles lost. Again, I was hoping I would not even have to say that this week, and it was very disappointing. And I know that it's a game, right? That's what people say. It's a game. But when you put your life into this, when you watch every single snap, every single game, every single minute of the season, and you watch the Super Bowl to the very end, it's hard to process that. Monday, I didn't even go to school. So devastated. But I mean that's you have to I don't know. I mean, there's no energy at all, as you can tell, in this podcast, and I feel like it won't be for maybe another week or so, because the Eagles choked. They choked. I mean, they had everything possible in their power, and they gave it away. So I want to get to the game because there's one player that gave it his all, and I believe that he outplayed Patrick Mahomes. It was Jalen Hurts. And for the people that say that Hurts is overrated, that Hurts is not one of the best QBs in the league, he showed it. Look, I know that the Eagles did not win the Super Bowl, but you got to give Jalen Hurts all the credit he deserves. All of it. He put his whole career in that. He brought his whole career together and put in that one game. He had 304 passing yards for one touchdown. And along with that, had 15 carries for 70 yards and 3 total rushing TDs. He had 4 touchdowns in total. He had every single touchdown. Besides for... he did. Every single touchdown, right? Field goal by Elliott. Yeah, Elliott had how many field goals? 1, right? Yeah, Wow. No, Elliott had 2 field goals. Yeah, I mean, Jalen Hurts had all the touchdowns, every single touchdown, and again, devastated. I'm going to be using that a lot. I'm using that a lot in this podcast because that's what I am. Jalen Hurts played amazing. I mean, what else can you say? He outplayed Mahomes, and sadly, the Chiefs were able to come up on top. But here's the thing, and now this is where the mood starts to shift in the podcast right now. Our defense sold. Now you can argue that Jalen Hurts fumbling that football cost us the game. No, it didn't, because how early on that was, it was nowhere close to how it would cost us the game. But if you were to take back that touchdown, the Eagles would have won it. But we're not going to talk about that. The fumble has nothing to do with the loss. And you can't hate the guy for it. I mean, look at his numbers. Look what he did. Look what he got. Look where he got us. But yeah, I'm blaming it all on the defense. The defense did not step up at all. And I know that the field was slippery. They were slipping and everything. Yeah, I know, but you got to get to the quarterback. And guess what? I'm not blaming this on the players, not just the players. We all know who's behind the defensive calls. That's Jonathan Gannon. Jonathan Gannon, I have hated him ever since he stepped foot in this city. Ever since he stepped foot in that position, I hated him. He never blitzes. I mean, we've been going over this for the whole season. The whole season. Jonathan Gannon does not blitz. If you look at the whole Super Bowl, which no one is going to look back at, please, I'm telling you, no one is going to look back. I certainly am not. But if you look back at it, there was 4 people on the line at all times. No blitzing, no nothing. And, I mean, the defensive play calling was horrendous. Horrendous. We didn't get any sacks. We were the best sack defense in the league, and we got 0 sacks in the Super Bowl. In the Super Bowl. And it's not totally on the players, as I said. It's Jonathan Gannon's fault as well. Jonathan Gannon is a horrible play caller. Horrible, horrible, horrible. And that's why he's gone. If you didn't hear, Jonathan Gannon is gone. We have no defensive coordinator. We have no offensive coordinator now. Shane Steichen's gone. So now we gotta start over with our defensive coordinators. We need to find defensive coordinators, because I actually like Shane Steichen. But now that he's gone, now we got no one. But I hated Jonathan Gannon, so now I'm glad he's gone and he's out of the way. But yeah, I think our defense. It was our defense. Our defense needed one stop, one simple stop, and they couldn't do it. They could not give us a simple stop. They couldn't do anything. The Chiefs kept on driving down the field, and it sucks when you've outplayed a team, but you still wind up losing in the end, which is what the Eagles did. And, 2 wide open touchdowns, 2 easy touchdowns. I mean, what are you going to do? Really, it's the defense's fault. But guess what? I'm not only blaming the defense, I blame the offense as well. Jalen Hurts, of course, for fumbling that football. But that's it on the offensive side. The offense did everything they could to score points. They tried to get in the field goal range as they did. Elliott was able to kick through a couple field goals. Look, I want to blame special teams as well. Right? Special teams has been the problem all year long. All year long, special teams has been a problem. Punt returns, kick returns. Kadarius Toney brought it all the way into the red zone off a punt return. And, look, you leave it right there. Really, you leave it right there. I mean, I don't, know what else to tell you besides for our special team stinks and our defense was not good. I feel like that it could have been better. It really could. And I feel like one stop could have just ended it all. And a lot of people, of course, are talking about that controversial call. It was not a hold. Now, I can see why people are arguing against it, and I see both ways. He tugged on his shirt a little bit, but if you know the rules, I don't think if the ball is not catchable, that little tug should not be called for pass interference. I may be wrong. I may be completely wrong, but I am pretty sure that if you give him a little tug, that's all we saw was a little tug. Juju Smith-Schuster was nowhere near the football. Nowhere near it. It was thrown away. Nowhere near the football. And the Eagles would have had plenty of more time to try and drive down the field and score another touchdown. Or possibly tie the game. But the refs need to throw a flag, and it ended things like that. So, yeah. I wanted to come on here. I wanted to give you my thoughts. Sorry for the podcast not being yesterday. Just couldn't do it. And I'm surprised I was able to do it today. Emotions are still going through. I'm going to leave the comments open. I'm going to put I'm going to leave a poll here at the end of the podcast. How do you feel after the Eagles Super Bowl loss? Are you feeling devastated? Well, I'll word it this way. How are you feeling 2 days after the Eagles Super Bowl loss? Better than yesterday, the same, or worse? Please leave in the comments. I'm really curious. I know mine is worse. Yesterday was a roller coaster for sure, and today is just taking it to reality that you never know when the Birds will be back. And it sucks that we weren't able to celebrate on Broad Street, and we had 3 chances to do it. It's been another Pomerano show. Make sure to go follow my Instagram, Lorenzo_Pomerano_show. That's where I've been posting all the news. And hopefully the Sixers can try to give us some hope in Philly sports. But that's all for this podcast, and we will see you all next week.